18, 7 p.m. Heidrich, Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Obermark.
Aye.
Hatke.
Here.
Pettit.
Here.
Skornia. Here. Sullentrup.
Here.
Wessels.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Will all the council members answer if they have or have not read the minutes of the council meeting dated November 18, 2019? Holtmeyer.
Aye.
Obermark.
Yes.
Hatke.
Yes.
Pettit.
Yes.
Skornia.
Yes.
Sullentrup.
Yes.
Wessels.
Aye.
Having read the minutes, are there any comments or questions?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Patke, seconded by Holtmeyer, to approve the minutes from our last meeting dated November 18, 2019. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the minutes. Thank you.
Approval and adjustment of agenda, including consent agenda. You have a liquor license application for Angelina's Italian Market.
Are there any questions or comments about this item?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Holtmeyer, seconded by Pettit, to approve the items on the consent agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the item. Thank you.
Priority items, Tourism Commission appointment and reappointments.
This evening in your packet, we have the appointment of Tyler King, who is the new Executive Director of Downtown Washington, to replace Bridget Kelch to serve on the Tourism Commission. That position always holds one seat on the commission, so we'd like to appoint Tyler to that position. And then we also have a reappointments of Rob Vosbrink and Michelle Horskamp to serve on the Tourism Commission, and their term would expire in 2022.
They knew.
No, Rob's been there actually since the very beginning of the commission, and Michelle, maybe this is coming into her second term, or maybe her third.
Third term.
Something. She's relatively new, so.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Holtmeyer, seconded by Pettit, to approve the appointment of Tyler King and the reappointments of Rob Vosbrink and Michelle Horskamp to the Tourism Commission. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the appointments. Thank you.
Mayor's presentations, appointments and reappointments, proclamation, SFB RHS cheerleading state title.
We're very fortunate tonight to have the cheer team here, so why don't you all come up, please? And you can stand kind of over there, I guess, a little bit, or whatever. So Are you? We're very proud of you all, and are really proud of how you represented our community all year, and especially in the competition. So thank you very much. So we have a proclamation this evening, a mayor's proclamation from the city of Washington, Missouri. St. Francis Borgia Regional High School, Missouri Cheerleading State Championship 2019. Whereas the Missouri Cheerleading Coaches Association, MCCA, inspires cheerleaders to strive for excellence in and around their community and throughout their lives. And whereas cheerleaders demonstrate outstanding athleticism in stunting, dance, and cheer, while promoting school spirit and sportsmanship, supporting all teams to make a commitment to excellence while maintaining high academic standards. And whereas the St. Francis Borgia Regional High School cheerleading squad competed in the St. Louis Regionals and have won for 14 consecutive years. And whereas the cheer squad competed for and won the Missouri Class 3A large state title for 7 consecutive years, with a history of 8 state titles. And whereas special commendation is due to squad members and coaches. Senior members are Ashley Alleman, Sophia Drago, Lily Elkan, Tiffany May, Anna Wright, Hannah Bamer, Anna Elbert, Anna Gildehouse, Grace West, Amy Wunderlich. From the junior class, Kenzie Huck, Haley Claycamp, Isabel Jacobson, and Meredith Pettit. Sophomores include Shauna Bamer, Emma McElwain, Alexis Harriman, and Kyla Pepsel. And freshmen Lauren Dowell and Elena Rembush. These girls are coached by head coach Sandy Gildehouse and assistant coaches Kara Russell and Emily Holdmeyer. Now therefore I, Sandy Lucy, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Washington, and on behalf of the entire city council, hereby congratulate you on your first place title and extend this expression of our pride in your accomplishment and our appreciation for the notable publicity you have brought to our community by your good sportsmanship and inspired team play. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the city of Washington, Missouri, this 2nd day of September, 2019. Signed, Sandy Lucy, Mayor. Congratulations. Okay, does anybody want to make a comment?
2, 4, 6, 8.
Do we have a spokesman in the group? You don't have to, but do we have anyone? Okay. All right.
Give me a beat.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for your great work, and we are very proud of you, and thank you for representing Washington so well. So it's really pretty cool. So you're welcome. Thank you. Here's your proclamation. There you go. All right. Congratulations. You're welcome.
One board to cheer. Tiger Jet tonight.
Proclamation, SFB RHS Lady Knights Volleyball State Title.
So we have all kinds of celebrities with us tonight. So anyway, we have the Volleyball Lady Knights Class 3 state title players here as well. So if you all could come up. You can come on this side too, that way I can see it.
Cody.
Okay. So again, as with before, we are so proud of you and just really appreciate how you represent our community. So anytime we can bring notoriety to our community, we're pretty excited about it, especially with honors like this. So thank you very much. Mayor's Proclamation, City of Washington, Missouri. St. Francis Borgia Regional Volleyball Lady Knights Class 3 state title. Whereas St. Francis Borgia Regional High School is a participating member of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, and whereas St. Francis Borgia Regional High School Volleyball Lady Knights compiled a 33-4-1 record for the 2019 volleyball season. And whereas the hard work, dedication, sportsmanship, and talent of the team enabled these athletes to earn the school's 11th state title. And whereas their success is a testament to the collaborative spirit and commitment of the entire volleyball family, which includes players, coaches, parents, and fans. And whereas special commendation is due to team members and coaches. Team members, we have Annie Aaron, Lindsay Batson, Alicia Baylord, Ella Brinkman, Lily Brown, Anna Eckelkamp, Caroline Glastetter, Abby Lynn, Gabby Matley, Lauren Nieder, Caitlin Patke, Ava Lou Plock, Courtney Scornia, Alia Thanawala, and Jenna Ulrich. Coaches, head coach CJ Steiger, assistant coaches Lauren Martin, Hannah Batharis, and Amanda Wunderlich. Now therefore I, Sandy Lucy, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Washington, and on behalf of the entire city council, hereby congratulate you on your first place title and extend this expression of our pride in your accomplishment and our appreciation for the fine publicity you have brought to our community by your good sportsmanship and inspired team play. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the city of Washington, Missouri, the 2nd day of December, 2019, Sandy Lucy, Mayor. Very good.
I just want to thank you for this notification and award, and it was a great experience, and so proud to be part of this community, and thank you again.
You too, Kobe.
Okay, thank you very much. Great job.
Citizens' comments?
Yeah. Do the teams want to hang out tonight, or would you like to?
It's a
If
good
you want to leave,
time.
you certainly can.
Now's a good time.
Now's
if
a
you'd
good
like to-
time, okay?
Class dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back down to normal level.
You guys want to stay or?
You don't get a real good feel for your meeting
never do.
until they evacuate.
Exactly. They didn't get it until
Good
they
idea.
excuse it.
Good idea.
That's good. Otherwise, it's an awkward leave.
It's a graceful time to depart.
No, exactly. Otherwise, it would have been awkward.
Oh, yeah.
When can we go? When do
Yeah,
we do? What do we
I
do?
know. That's what I told her.
That worked out great.
Now we have room.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome, thank you.
Citizens' comments?
Is there anyone here who would like to address the council this evening on any item that is not on the agenda? Okay.
Report of department heads, airport project consultant selection, sorry.
Yes, in the earlier meeting tonight, I briefed you on
Sal.
the consultant selection process that we went through regarding requests for qualifications. We did receive 2 statement of qualifications from CMT and Burns McDonald, and we are requesting your approval to move forth with selecting CMT as our airport consultant for the next 5-year term. Those projects that are identified in the future would accompany a contract with them. We would negotiate a contract at that time. So there is no ordinance attached to this. It's just your agreement with staff that CMT would be the most qualified to do those efforts for us.
Are there any questions or comments from the council?
Your motion?
Yeah, we'll entertain a motion to,
Make a motion.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Sullentrup, seconded by Obermark to approve the selection. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? By your vote, you approve the selection. Thank you.
I also had one more item that I did not address the earlier meeting. Some of you may have been aware the intersection of Highway 147, MoDOT completed an overlay project this fall, and I noticed over the weekend that there was some spalling of the asphalt pavement that it was on Highway 100 at the intersection. They did run into some issues with the paver when they were doing that work. in the aggregate is actually peeling off from the below asphalt surface. MoDOT is aware of the problem, and they will be addressing that this spring to correct it. So if you get any calls, that's what's going on. MoDOT's been aware of it the whole time, and I was in communication with them today to make sure it does get resolved. There's really not much we can really do through wintertime other than they'll temporary patch it. But if you get calls, that is what has occurred. So.
Okay, anything else? Does anyone have any questions of John?
No.
Okay.
Ordinances, resolutions. An ordinance accepting the bid from McQueen Emergency, Eureka, Missouri, and to approve the purchase of 21 sets of firefighter turnout gear and amend the 2020 budget by the City of Washington, Missouri.
Pat?
Introduced by Councilman Patke.
Yeah.
Open meeting.
Okay.
Good
You're
evening.
back.
I'm back. Good evening. Yes, as the ordinance sets out, 21 sets of turnout gear to replace gear that's anywhere from 20 plus to over 10 years old. The standard calls out for 10-year replacement, so we're looking for is to upgrade our gear and putting a process in place to look at our attrition rate over time.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
There was a clarification earlier. It was 45,000, not 42,000.
45. Okay. Thank you.
An ordinance accepting the bid from McQueen Emergency, Eureka, Missouri, and to approve the purchase of 21 sets of firefighter turnout gear and amend the 2020 budget by the City of Washington, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Obermark?
Yes.
Holtzmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll catch you
You're
at the door.
welcome.
An
Thank you.
ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a partial deed of release by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Washington, Missouri Redevelopment Corporation.
Sullentrup.
Introduced by Councilman Sullentrup.
Keep it open, Tim.
Has to be an open meeting.
Tell them to be quiet.
It's an open meeting.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. This goes in, if you want to go ahead, I'll let you go ahead.
So this isn't necessarily related to the ordinance we have later on tonight, but it's something we needed to get done beforehand. There was a quick claim deed of release that needed to be released for the sale of Lot 25 to Melton that just wasn't caught at the title company back when the deal was closed, and actually they're a member of First State Community Bank, who they are financing through, noticed this and just reached out and said, hey, can we get this wrapped up before the deal is finalized? So that's why this ordinance is on there tonight. So.
Any questions or comments?
An ordinance authorizing and directing the execution of a partial deed of release by and between the City of Washington, Missouri and the Washington, Missouri Redevelopment Corporation. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Obermark?
Yes.
Holtzmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington to accept the proposal from NOC LLC for IT consulting services and to amend the 2020 budget.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
This is the contract that we discussed, that Mary brought to your attention at our workshop or whatever. As you can see, it would increase overall, I think it's 30,000 on there. I don't have my notes, but that's what it is. Unless you have any questions from our previous meeting.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the City of Washington to accept the proposal from NOC LLC for IT consulting services and to amend the 2020 budget. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Obermark?
Yes.
Holtzmeyer?
Aye.
Patke?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance accepting the bid from Bobcat of St. Louis and to approve the purchase of a 96-inch Bobcat dozer blade by the City of Washington, Missouri.
Patke?
Introduced by Councilman Patke.
Again, this is the proposal for the Bobcat blade that Wayne had brought to your attention earlier in the workshop. unless you have any questions.
Questions or comments?
An ordinance accepting the bid from Bobcat of St. Louis and to approve the purchase of a 96-inch Bobcat dozer blade by the City of Washington, Missouri. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup? Obermark?
Yes.
Holtmeyer?
Aye.
Patchke.
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing the City of Washington, Missouri to issue its taxable industrial revenue bonds, Milton Machine and Control Company Project, Series 2019, in a principal amount not to exceed $30 million for the purpose of providing funds to pay the costs of acquiring, constructing, and equipping a facility for an industrial development project in the city, approving a plan for the project, and authorizing the city to enter into certain agreements and take certain other actions in connection with the issuance of the bonds.
Holtmeyer.
Introduced by Councilman Holtmeyer.
So I know this is a project that you are all familiar with. I'm just going to give you a real brief background and explain again, kind of justify our recommendation and a little bit of history. So as you are all aware, about 3 years ago now, Melton reached out to the city while Darren was actually still in my position, that they were beginning the discussions and the exploration of expanding. At that time, they had approximately 170 full-time employees. They were teetering right around actually being on our top 10 of largest employers in the community. They were right on that, and it was brought to our attention not only that it was something that a company that we wanted to retain the jobs, retain them here locally, but we also wanted to help them grow here, and it was brought to our attention that they were looking at opportunities elsewhere, just like all companies do whenever they're looking at their most effective use of growth and how they're going to move forward. And so we knew that we wanted to not only use all the tools in our tool belt that we had available to help them grow, but also to make sure that they wanted to stay in Washington and help them all we can. It's no surprise that every community now has programs that can lure companies away, and so we wanted to make sure that we had everything we could to make sure they wanted to stay in Washington. So, we connected them with the state on Missouri Works, making sure they were taking advantage of sales tax-free manufacturing, that sort of thing. But we also wanted to entertain the idea of Chapter 100 with them to be able to offer some type of tax abatement, which is our largest tool for landing companies. And we also knew that Melton was one of the highest paying manufacturers in Franklin County, so it was not a company we were willing to lose not only to another community, but also just out of the region. So that's kind of how the whole discussion started. We moved forward and we realized the size and the scope of what they were wanting to do, not only in the construction, but also in the amount of jobs they're looking to bring to the community and grow. It was above and beyond the minimum requirements that we've ever required for Chapter 100. I will tell you, typically, we tell companies if they can't create at least 40 jobs at $40,000 and have at least $5 million in capital expenditures, then we probably won't entertain Chapter 100. As you can see by looking through the cost share agreement and the cost benefit analysis, the pad is available for up to $500,000. The building is 330,000 square feet on its first phase. And then they agreed to bring up their job total to 210 jobs with a minimum average salary of $40,000. So, like I said, that was well above the minimum requirements we would ever entertain for Chapter 100. And so if we weren't going to offer it to a company doing that type of growth, then we really were not using the program effectively to staff's recommendation. And so in working negotiations with them, bringing it to 353 Redevelopment Corporation, we did come to a term sheet on the project. And so this project was a little bit unique that they weren't utilizing the Chapter 100 as financing and tax abatement. They had a private financing opportunity that they were more comfortable with, that they wanted to go with, rather than having construction bonds issued. And they were really just looking for the opportunity to have tax abatement over the 10-year program. And so Melton let us know they were on a schedule. They needed to move forward a little more quickly. And so that's why we went and got the term sheet ahead of time rather than passing anything with 353, as well as coming to you with a resolution of intent to offer the abatement at a future date. And so that's why you see the construction so far along where it's at, and they were able to move forward with the ability and the understanding. There was a memorandum of understanding that we would move forward with this deal. And so we're here tonight to finalize that Chapter 100 deal and to be able to get them in there after the first year. So they can start moving equipment in, and then the tax abatement will begin in 2021 when everything is assessed after it's installed. So that's where we're at now. Like I said, it was a company we were very grateful to have in Washington. We wanted to retain them, and we were happy we could come to a term sheet that we thought was beneficial for them and for the community at large. Just keep in mind that 50% for the first 5 years, that's 50% on a 300,000 square foot building. I mean, that's still substantial tax increase based on it was zero beforehand when it was under the ownership of 353. So we think this was an excellent deal that we were able to strike with Melton, and we were happy to be able to come to terms with them. So,
Any questions or comments?
So Sal, the abatement is 50% for the 10 years? Is that
so it's at a minimum, or at 50% on the baseline of their growth. So as you can see, they have different test dates they have to hit. So in September 30th of 21 all the way through 25, they have a certain amount of hires. And they have to get up to 210 jobs by 2025 to keep that 50% abatement. Now, there is a bonus added. If they were able to continue growing past that, the term sheet does allow them to get up to an additional 30%. So it's a 70% abatement for years 6 through 10, on the condition that not only they went up to 220 full-time jobs, but also the average salary is $55,000 a year. And so, given that average salary well above and beyond, our typical manufacturing salary, we were comfortable with offering that. This is the first time we've gone above 50% in a Chapter 100, but we think this sets a very good precedent where if another company wanted to come in and match this, we'd be open to it. But that size of building and that wage growth, we were comfortable with going above the 50% to the 70%. But that is just for years 6 through 10.
so
Yes.
there would be the pilots then?
So yes, if they don't hit it, but technically there's not. Other projects we have like LMI, there are percentages. If they only have a certain amount of the jobs, there's a certain amount.
There's an additional pilot payment.
And in this case, if they don't hit it, they have to pay 100%. That was actually something that we conceded with them where when we went back with, when we were negotiating, we went back with a different term on the years 6 through 10. They agreed that they would have, instead of having penalties, if they're not hitting it, it goes up to 100%. But if they hit it, then they get the 70% through years 6 through 10.
Any other questions or comments?
We were talking, I think it's hard to say from all other communities, but I think this is the largest industrial project we've had at one time other than the Labadee Power Plant
Under one roof.
in Franklin County. So
It's excellent.
It's a nice thing. Okay, anything else?
I'll just let you know, we do have representatives from 353 Redevelopment Corporation, which helped us obviously make the sale, negotiate the terms, as well as Melton here tonight, if you have any questions for them.
Okay. All right. Would any of you like to speak, or do any of you have any comments to make? Stacy?
My name is Stacy Lindsay. I'm the president and CEO of Melton Machine. Thank you, Mayor, Lucy, and members of the council. I'll keep my comments brief, but just 2020 is a big year for us, not just because we're building this building and moving in, but it's going to be our 50th year anniversary since Vern Melton, our founder, founded the company. And he moved the company to Washington in 1975, so it'll be the 45th anniversary of Melton being in Washington. And we've had a lot of milestones. 2020, and this building is another big milestone. But it's been a history of growing with the community of Washington, and the company and myself personally, we're just very grateful for the city's support through that growth through the years. I mean, I said I'd keep it brief, but just a little history. 1975, moved on to West Main Street in Washington. In 1985, we became an employee-owned company, which was a little bittersweet because it was Vern Melton. He was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and before he passed away, he sold the company to the employees, which was a unusual thing at the time. But it really set the stage for further growth. 1999, we moved from West Main to our current location on Bluff Road. 2007, we were able to expand. The Bluff Road location in the beginning was 110,000 square feet. We were able to expand 44,000 square feet in 2007. In 2010, we made an acquisition of Computech, and in 2013, we were able to move Computech from their North Kansas City location to Melton, and this city was integral in that event also through their support, and that was a great win for both the city and Melton. And so we're just going to continue to try to grow, and we take great pride in being a member of the community and what we've been able to do. Tremendous amount of our employees not only work at Melton in the city, but they live here. They're great members. We try to be a really strong member of the community, support the community because it's our community. So those are my comments. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Appreciate your commitment to Washington. We really appreciate it. Thanks for doing what you did.
Thank you.
Certainly do appreciate, and for a number of years, your commitment goes beyond. You were generally the #1 United Way donor year after year, and it shows the commitment that your employees have as well. So we're happy to assist you and happy to have you here, and are excited about your growth and continued growth. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing the City of Washington, Missouri to issue its taxable industrial revenue bonds, Melton Machine and Control Company Project, Series 2019, in a principal amount not to exceed $30 million for the purpose of providing funds to pay the costs of acquiring, constructing, and equipping a facility for an industrial development project in the city, approving a plan for the project, and authorizing the city to enter into certain agreements and take certain other actions in connection with the issuance of the bonds. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia?
Yes.
Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Abstain.
Obermark?
Yes.
Holtzmeyer?
Aye.
Hatke?
Yes.
By your vote, you approve the ordinance. Thank you. Okay, good deal.
Mayor's report.
I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to give you a few updates for your calendar of events that are coming up. December 12th is the Chamber Jingle and Mingle,
Correct.
right? So on a Thursday evening this year. We've set the date for the Employee Appreciation Party, and that will be January 3rd, again at the City Auditorium. And then just this morning, Mary set the date for the Board and Commissions Party, and that will be held on January 17, and that'll be held at the Senior Center. So might want to get those items on your calendar. And the official invitation has not gone out for Board and Commission, but it
No, it
has
hasn't.
for the Employee Appreciation, so RSVP. So, and that's really all I have.
City Administrator report.
The only item, other than the executive session item that I've got for you, is as I mentioned in our transition from our workshop to the city council meeting, we will need to hold a special meeting next Monday at 6 o'clock to go ahead and discuss the city's insurance plan. As I mentioned, we just received those numbers. Our broker just got those numbers late last week. We're going to sit down, meet with them tomorrow, but we cannot wait until the meeting on the 16th because that will be too late. We have a quick turnaround time for that. So we would like to go ahead and have that meeting next Monday, the 9th at 6 p.m. That's all I have.
Council comments?
Any comments?
City Attorney's report, public vote on whether or not to hold a closed meeting to discuss personnel, legal, and real estate matters pursuant to Section 610.021 RSMO 2000. Wessels?
Aye.
Scornia? Yes. Pettit?
Yes.
Sullentrup?
Yes.
Obermark?
Yes.
Holtzmeyer?
Aye.
Hatchkey?
Yes.
Okay.